the previous video, we talked about control myths, feelings and emotions, and how we may not have as much as control as we think over them. The question was, how much have you been influenced by all these control myths? The questionnaire on the following pages will help you find out. Questionnaire: control of thoughts and feelings. The questionnaire has been adapted from similar ones developed by Stephen Hayes, Frank Bond, and others. When the phrase negative thoughts and feelings is used, it refers to a whole range of painful feelings: anger, depression and anxiety, and painful thoughts, bad memories, disturbing images, and harsh self-judgments. For each pair of statements, please select the one that most accurately fits how you feel. The answer you choose doesn't have to be absolutely 100% true for you all the time. Just pick the answer which seems to be more representative of your general attitude. Questions. Number 1. A. I must have good control of my feelings in order to be successful. B. It is unnecessary for me to control my feelings in order to be successful in life. Number 2. A. Anxiety is bad. B. Anxiety is neither good nor bad. It is merely an uncomfortable feeling. Number 3. A. Negative thoughts and feelings will harm you if you don't control or get rid of them. B. Negative thoughts and feelings won't harm you even if they feel unpleasant. Number 4. A. I'm afraid of some of my strong feelings. B. I'm not afraid of any feelings, no matter how strong. Number 5. In order for me to do something important, I have to get rid of all of my doubts. B. I can do something important even when doubts are present. Number 6. A. When negative thoughts and feelings arise, it's important for me to reduce or get rid of them as quickly as possible. B. Trying to reduce or get rid of negative thoughts and feelings frequently causes problems. If I simply allow them to be, then they will change as a natural part of living. Number 7. A. The best method of managing negative thoughts and feelings is to analyze them, then utilize that knowledge to get rid of them. B. The best method of managing negative thoughts and feelings is to acknowledge their presence and let them be without having to analyze or judge them. Number 8. A. I will be happy and healthy by improving my ability to avoid, reduce, or get rid of any negative thoughts and feelings. B. I will become happy and healthy by allowing negative thoughts and feelings to come and go of their own accord and learning to live effectively when they are present. Number 9. A. If I can't suppress or get rid of any negative emotional reaction, it's a sign of personal failure or weakness. B. The need to control or get rid of a negative emotional reaction is a problem in itself. Number 10. Having negative thoughts and feelings is an indication that I'm psychologically unhealthy or I've got problems. B. Having negative thoughts and feelings means I'm a normal human being. Number 11. A. People who are in control of their lives can generally control how they feel. B. People who are in control of their lives do not need to control their feelings. Number 12. A. It's not okay to feel anxious and I try hard to avoid it. B. I don't like anxiety, but it's okay to feel it. Number 13. A. Negative thoughts and feelings are a sign that there is something wrong with my life. B. Negative thoughts and feelings are an inevitable part of life for everyone. Number 14. A. I have to feel good before I can do something that's important and challenging. B. I can do something that's important and challenging even if I'm anxious or depressed. 15. A. I try to suppress my thoughts and feelings that I don't like by just not thinking about them. B. I don't try to suppress thoughts and feelings that I don't like. I just let them come and go of their own accord. To score your test, count the number of times you selected the option A or B. Please keep a record of your score. At the end of this book, I'll ask you to come back and do this test again. The more times you selected option A, the greater the likelihood that control issues are creating a significant suffering in your life. How so? That's the subject of the next chapter. Chapter 2. Vicious Cycles. Michelle has tears streaming down her eyes. "What's wrong with me?" she asks. "I have a great husband, great kids, a great job, a lovely home. I'm fit, healthy, well off, so why aren't I happy?" It's a good question. Michelle seems to have everything she wants in life, so what's going wrong? We'll come back to Michelle later in this chapter, but for now, let's take a look at what's happening in your life. Presumably, if you're reading this book, your life could work better than it does right now. Maybe your relationship is in trouble, or you're lonely or heartbroken. Maybe you hate your job, or perhaps you've lost it. Maybe your health is deteriorating. Maybe someone you love has died or rejected you, or moved far away. Maybe you have low self-esteem or no self-confidence. Maybe you have an addiction or financial problems or legal difficulties. Maybe you're suffering from depression, anxiety, or burnout. Maybe you just feel stuck or delusioned. Whatever the problem is, it undoubtedly gives rise to unpleasant thoughts and feelings. And you've probably spent a lot of time and effort trying to escape them or blot them out. But suppose those attempts to get rid of your bad thoughts and feelings are actually making your life worse. In ACT or ACT, we have a saying for this: the solution is the problem. How does a solution become a problem? What do you do when you have an itch? You scratch it, right? And usually this works so well you don't even have to think about it. Scratch the itch and it goes away. Problem solved. But suppose one day you develop a patch of eczema, red irritated skin. The skin is very itchy, so naturally you scratch it. However, with this condition, the skin cells are highly sensitive, and when you scratch them, they release chemicals called histamines, which lead to further irritation and inflammation. So very soon the itch returns, but with a greater intensity than before. And of course, if you scratch it again, it gets even worse. Scratching is a good solution for a fleeting itch in a normal healthy skin, but for a persistent itch in an abnormal skin, scratching it is harmful. The solution becomes part of the problem. This is commonly known as a vicious cycle. And in the world of human emotions, vicious cycles are common. Here are a few examples. Joseph fears rejection, so he feels very anxious in social situations. He doesn't want those feelings of anxiety, so he avoids socializing whenever possible. He doesn't accept invitations to parties. He doesn't pursue friendships. He lives alone and stays home every night. This means that on the rare occasion when he does socialize, he's more anxious than ever because he's so out of practice. Furthermore, living alone with no friends or social life just serves to make him completely rejected, which is the very thing he fears. Yvonne also feels anxious in social situations. She copes with this by drinking heavily. In short term, alcohol reduces her anxiety, but the next day she feels hungover and tired, and she often regrets the money she spent on alcohol or worries about the embarrassing things she did while under the influence. Sure, she escapes anxiety for a little while, but the price she pays is a lot of other unpleasant feelings over the long term. And if she ever finds herself in a social situation where she can't drink, her anxiety is greater than ever because she doesn't have alcohol to rely on. There is a lot of built-up tension between Andrew and his wife, Slivana. Slivana is angry at Andrew because he works long hours and doesn't spend enough time with her. Andrew doesn't like those feelings of tensions in the house, so in order to avoid them, he starts working longer hours. But the more hours he works, the more dissatisfied Slivana gets, and the tension in their relationship steadily increases. Danielle is overweight and hates it, so she eats some more chocolate to cheer herself up. For a few moments, she feels better, but then she thinks about all the calories she just consumed and how that will add up to her weight, and she ends up feeling more miserable than ever. Ahmed is out of shape. He wants to get fit again. He starts working out, but he's unfit. It's hard work and it feels uncomfortable. He doesn't like the discomfort, so he stops working out. Then his fitness level slides even lower. You can see that these are all examples of trying to get rid of, avoid, or escape from unpleasant feelings. We call these control strategies because they are attempts to directly control how you feel. The table below shows some of the most common control strategies. I've organized them into two main categories: fight strategies and flight strategies. Fight strategies involve fighting or trying to dominate your unwanted thoughts and feelings. Flight strategies involve running away or hiding from those unwelcome thoughts and feelings. Flight strategies: hiding or escaping. You hide away or escape from people, places, situations, or activities that tend to give rise to uncomfortable thoughts and feelings. For example, you drop out of a course or cancel a social event in order to avoid feelings of anxiety. Distraction. You distract yourself from unwanted thoughts and feelings by focusing on something else. For example, you're feeling bored or anxious, so you smoke a cigarette or eat some ice cream or go shopping. Or you worried about some important issue at work, so you spend all night watching TV to try to keep your mind off it. Zoning out or numbing. You try to cut off from your thoughts and feelings by zoning out or making yourself numb, most commonly through the use of medication, drugs, or alcohol. Some people do their zoning out by sleeping excessively or simply staring at the walls. Or there's another thing that people daydream too much. Fight strategies. Suppression. You try to directly suppress unwanted thoughts and feelings. You forcefully push unwanted thoughts from your mind, or you push your feelings deep down inside. Arguing. You argue with your own thoughts. For example, if your mind says, "You're a failure," you try to argue back, "Oh no, I'm not. Just look at everything I've achieved in my work." Alternately, you may argue against reality, protesting, "It shouldn't be like this." Taking charge. You try to take charge of your thoughts and feelings. For example, you may tell yourself things like, "Oh my gosh, snap out of it, stay calm," or "cheer up." Or you try to force yourself to be happy when you're not. Self-bullying. You try to bully yourself into feeling differently. Or you call yourself names like loser, idiot. Or you criticize yourself and blame yourself. "Don't be so pathetic. You can handle this. Why are you being such a coward?" Those are all control strategies.